then my living will not be in vain. How beautiful. I just want to direct your attention for a few minutes to this fact sheet in your packets. This is the back. Facts about HIV/AIDS. Did you know that America has lost more people to AIDS than were lost in the Korean, Vietnam, and Gulf Wars combined? Did you know that the number of Black Americans living with AIDS increased by 24% between 2003 and 2007, as compared to 18% increase among whites? Did you know that African Americans, approximately 12% of the United States population, but we account for almost half of the new AIDS cases diagnosed in 2007? Did you know that African Americans account for 45% of the new HIV infection? There is 24,900 of 56,300 total infection in 2006. Did you know that African Americans accounted for 57% of the death due to HIV in 2006? And their survival time after an AIDS diagnosis is lower on average than it is for other racial ethnic groups? Not important fact. HIV was the third leading cause of death for Black women and fourth leading cause of death for Black men between the ages of 25 to 44. Black women accounted for 61% of the new HIV infection among women in 2006, and the HIV incidence rate among Black women is nearly 15 times the rate among white women. Black women accounted for 66% of the new AIDS cases among women in 2007. White and Latina women account for 70 and 15% respectively. And the last fact, Black teens aged 13 to 19, they're 15% of the total US teen population, but they account for a staggering 68% of the new AIDS cases reported among teens in 2007. A similar impact can be seen among Black children. Sobering, isn't it? So there's a lot of work for us to do. And even though we are few, it doesn't matter. Because it's not the number of people that matters, it's the quality of your commitment. So if you're totally committed to what you have to do, God can take your little and make it much. He can multiply your usefulness, multiply your influence, and you can make a tremendous difference. So do not be discouraged because we are few here. If you look at any significant movement in history, it always started up with a significant few. Right? So the numbers doesn't matter. I am not discouraged by the number of people here. I am just so thankful that you're committed enough to be here. And so I owe you a debt of gratitude for being here. So we're going to do this together. The race is not for the swift, but for the persons that endure to the end. And you look like you have some stamina. You look like you have some endurance in you. So I thank you so very much for coming out. But our feature presenter for today is one of my favorite people, Dr. Monica Sweeney. And the reason why she's my favorite person is because she is so humble. Yes. And she is so available. And she is so present. Because for some of us, when we have achieved in life, we become aloof. And we forgot from whence we have come. But she is not one of those. And I so thank you so much. I thank you so very much for coming. Dr. Sweeney is the Assistant Commissioner in the Bureau of HIV/AIDS Prevention and Control at New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Our bio is in your packet, but I'm just going to read a few little tidbits here. As the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene Assistant Commissioner for HIV/AIDS Prevention and Control, Dr. Sweeney oversees a comprehensive effort to improve HIV prevention, diagnosis, care, treatment, and case management. Since joining the agency in 2007, she has managed the expansion of NYC condom distribution and the launch of the Bronx No HIV Testing Initiative. Bronx Knows, HIV Testing Initiative. She has also overseen the first effort to estimate HIV incidence, the annual number of new infections in New York City. Two other pieces of information. Dr. Sweeney also served as a member of the Presidential Advisory Council on HIV/AIDS and as president of Kings County Medical Society and co-chair of the Physician Prevention Advisory Council, a project of the New York State Health Department AIDS Institute. Dr. Sweeney is an assistant professor at SUNY Downstate School of Public Health and a adjunct professor at the Sophie Davis School of Biomedical Education. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a lady that who does not only talk the talk, but she walks the walk. Dr. Monica Sweeney.
Dr. Manuel, before I start, I have a request.
Yes.
Do you mind if everybody brings their chair in a circle?
Sure. Please, let's get to our, yes, let's get in a circle. Can you bring your chairs right around here so we feel like family?